Konnichi. What's it like, heya, yokoso. Kyou wa nihongo wa manan masu. I should say, hello, and welcome to What's It Like. Today, we are learning Japanese. While I like to think I have many strengths, learning a new language isn't really one of them, and I'm somewhat akin to Luitenant Aldo Raine in the movie Inglourious Basterds when he tries to speak Italian. Gorlami. I digress though. But what if there was a way to learn a new language while playing video games? Shashingo, Learn Japanese with Photography, aims to do so in this unique concept of a game. What's it like? Get your notebook, grab your camera, and prepare to focus as we review Shashingo, Learn Japanese with Photography for Nintendo Switch. Before we take some pictures, would you mind liking and subscribing? It's the best way to get the algorithm to zoom in on What's It Like, and I can't thank you enough for doing so. Shashingo, Learning Japanese with Photography, is a unique concept that sees you walking around a small city area that is reminiscent of Tokyo. There's no real objective here except to learn at your own pace by exploring the city centre. Gameplay revolves around walking around the city, taking photos of objects, which will then read out the Japanese word for it, as well as display kana, romaji, or kanji and furigana, which is Shashingo's double-edged sword, I guess, so to speak. As I'm not at all versed in Japanese, I found romaji handy, which basically spells out how to pronounce the word in English. But when it's selected, you can't see how the word's written in Japanese, so you have to rely on the audio cue. And I think it would have been great to have a romaji and kanji option to help both pronounce and read the word. This might not be an issue for some, but it was something that stood out to me because of the way I learned. And that's really what lies at the core of Shashingo. Players will be able to learn their own way, which may or may not be an effective way of picking up the language. The photography aspect of the gameplay is really well done, and you can zoom in to focus on an object, take its photo, and add it to your notebook. You can hunt down duplicate items in the city to find the set, and I found I was taking pride in making sure my shots were nice for my collection. It's quite a charming game, and it felt like an educational Pokemon Snap, gently encouraging me to find objects and items to snap and learn what they are. For those looking to test their knowledge, Find Mode and Quiz Mode add a more gamified challenge. Find Mode gives you a Japanese word and you must photograph what you think it is within the world of Shashingo. Quiz Mode randomly selects one of your photos and asks you to match the verbs to it. Winning these quizzes awards you with coins that you can use in the gacha machine to buy more lenses or filters for your camera. Rewarding learning and adding a bit of extra fun challenge for those looking for a more structured approach to learning. Players can then further customize their photos by adjusting levels, adding filters and borders to those photos for a bit of customization and personality. Thankfully, players can also lean on their notepads which are carried around with them and fill up with Polaroids the more they explore and photograph the world. You can select a photo, listen to how the word is pronounced, and even flip it on most occasions to see verbs related to that word. Players who want to study further will find more notes in their notebooks which help you with common phrases and words, almost like a My First Japanese Lesson book. It's a nice touch. And I personally found this more interactive approach to learning was a welcome one, especially since I struggled to learn from reading text since my stroke. Shashingo looks gorgeous on the Switch and it runs really well. Its engine reminds me of a smoother version of Overwatch style models and scenery with a softer, rounder look. It's very visually appealing, and sometimes you just get lost taking it all in that you forget you're there to learn. There are some alleyways to explore, and walking around seems to uncover small and intricate details you may have missed the first few times. It's a bright and colourful world with a day and night cycle that features planes, trains, and automobiles. but it doesn't seem to have any signs of human life. You can walk past cafes, shoe stores, convenience stores, camera stores, but unfortunately, you just can't enter any of them due to the world's design. It's actually a rather small area, but it's packed full of detail and runs very well on both handheld and docked mode. For my photographers looking into accessibility options, there are a few you can change to help you through your learning journey. Selectable options allow you to change the camera brightness and saturation, as well as being able to change the field of view, several volume options that allow you to isolate dialogue, and the ability to turn off the flash for gamers with photosensitivity. In the game, the font looks similar to a Comic Sans font, which may not be the best looking font, but it's presented as black text on a white background, making the high contrast easier to read. The game doesn't have any time limits or restrictions either, meaning you can just really learn and explore at your own pace. As always though, I do recommend further research to find out if Shashingo suits your needs, and I encourage readers to ask questions if I can help further investigate specific features for you. Shashingo Learn Japanese with Photography is a gorgeous game, and it may help people learn Japanese depending on how you learn. Its price point is very affordable, and it's a fun world to get lost in. Gamers will have to weigh up how they want to learn though, as it isn't quite as comprehensive as a Japanese textbook, but it is a lot more fun. So, what's it like? Shashingo Learn Japanese with Photography is like Pokemon Snap, crossed with Japanese for Dummies. I award it a 78 out of 100. Sayonara. Thanks so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. The best way you can support me is to like and subscribe and continue watching my content if you enjoy it. But if you do want to go that bit extra, you can buy me a coffee or join our Patreon, which shows you behind the scenes of this channel. Thanks again.